Yeah, yeah.
Take yourself back to those dark moments. You have to take yourself back to all of those different moments when you thought you weren't going to make it, when you thought you weren't going to prosper, when you thought that the end was near. You have to take yourself back to those moments, and you have to think about how you overcame those last things. And so, if you overcame it last time, what's stopping this one? What's stopping you from believing that you can get over this hurdle that you're dealing with right now?
So what if you're a person that has never overcame a whole lot? What if they're just saying, what about people that haven't overcame a whole lot of things in their life and adversity, and they feel like they're just stuck with nothing to do? What do?
We have to take ourselves back. We have to sit down. And I feel like when you write, you find the perspective that you need. When you sit over there and you write everything that you're dealing with, and for some reason, I think the puzzles just come together. The pieces, when you find out what you need to do. You may not know in its entirety, but you figure it out along the way.
Well, that's wisdom. Wisdom is an accumulation.
Of course.
Of the things that we have learned over the years. And you're so young.
Yes.
And I'm already hearing some wisdom in you, which
Yes.
is way far ahead of me. I'm just getting this in my 40s. I'm 48.
I'm 22.
I know you're super young. Wisdom is just the ability to take the accumulated things that we've learned in this earth and all the things that we've put together and learned through our lives, and to be able to take these little pieces of the puzzle. You take this little piece you learned over here, this little piece, this long. It doesn't make sense by itself. This piece moves here, and this piece, and it's a puzzle. And then finally, those little pieces tie in together, and it becomes a bigger understanding.
Yeah.
And then this other little piece over here, it's by itself, and then they mold it together and becomes a little bigger understanding. That's what wisdom is to me.
Truly. When you have wisdom, you adopt the ideology that no step is wasted. Which means I went through this over here, I dealt with this over here, I had this disappointment over here, but somehow things are going to come together because with this acquired knowledge, I have the ability to know what to do next.
Wow. Yeah. So that's what it is, and that's what our lives are too.
Of course.
A series of mistakes and all these things that we think we had a bad relationship. Oh, it was a waste of my life. Maybe this wasn't a waste of your life. It was a building experience of your life and what you experienced, and becomes part of your wisdom.
Of course.
Right.
Yes,
So so maybe when we're going through things and the things are bad, it's just another step towards our wisdom.
Of course. It's a building block. The building block of your success. You can't have the good without the bad.
And this is how you look at life.
Of course. I can have something great happen to me and then something bad that follows. Everything that you go through, when you go higher, a lot more is expected of you. And so if I'm dealing with something and it seems like a challenge and it seems like I won't make it, I know some way and somehow it's going to work out.
So we take the good. I'm speaking to myself here.
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to myself.
Self-empowerment is the best empowerment, man.
I'm talking to myself because
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to get a grasp on this thing, because it makes sense. If I can look at the experiences I have that I'm going through, and I feel sad, and I feel washed out, or whatever it is I'm feeling, and if I can think of that as the experience of something that I'm going through that's ultimately helping to achieve my wisdom. Because my wisdom is not your wisdom. One person can't know everything in this world anyway. But if you take a group of people and put them together, very, very smart people, then they can come up with something great. So take all these pieces, the bad and the good, and just think about it being that way. Not concentrate on, oh, it's so bad. Because it is bad. But if we can actually think about it being a stepping stone.
Of course.
In our minds, then we can actually turn this into an understanding.
Yeah, yeah.
When you have wisdom, you adopt the ideology that no step is wasted. I wake up with God and I go to sleep with God. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. I'm sure that this is happening for my greater good. All things work together for the good of those who love God. We find happiness when we face our demons. Happiness is temporary, but joy is forever. And peace only comes from God. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever.